Hello and welcome again to Steve's Long Stay Vintage Radio Workshop, which is a place where things come to be looked at, whether they be looked at elsewhere or just interesting or anything really. This is it. This channel is basically aimed at teaching people to troubleshoot and spot problems rather than just capacity changes. Why I don't do it. So if anyone asks me about capacity and why don't I change them all on camera, two reasons. One, I do that off camera because of my problem, and because of course you know all need to be changed. So capacity changing is all very well, but don't do that after you've got the set basically working. Anyway, this is interesting. When I got this, I thought it's a valve radio. It looks like a valve radio. Got a look of a valve radio on it. There are valve PYEs and echoes and Ferrantis like this, but this isn't a valve. It's transistorized in a case that makes it look like a valve radio. They came in different colours. This one is a PYE 1113, but and also Ferranti did them, and I think Echo did as well. I don't know about that. I'll have to check that, but certainly Ferranti and Echo did. So with that in mind, I looked at the back and I thought, where's the valves? But anyway, what does it do for it? What does it do for us? Well, it plays.
Happy memories, huh?
Bobby friend as well, raising.
ਆਪਣੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਬੁੱਲੇ ਸ਼ਾਹ ਜੀ ਨੇ 20 from 60.
I brought 31 at Kilmarnock, 29 at Boddick.
15 leads 16 from 16, that's the same.
So basically, doesn't it need a lot to get it going, this? Or does it?
Burnley have 10 from 14.
It's a long way. A long way. Doesn't seem to do very much, does it?
Lost away to Tottenham last time out, Mark, ending team. With a win over Manchester United already, the Aston manager, can he complete a famous double? 5 changes to his Norwich side this evening.
So there you are. It's got a few faults with it that we sort out, and then it's ready to go back to its ordinary again. It's quite proud of it actually. I was too actually. So let's sort it for him. It shouldn't be very much this one, but you know, I check it thoroughly anyway. I always do. So let's have a look inside and see what it is and is not doing. First thing I noticed with this, by the way, is that it's got a socket on the back for either taping or another speaker or something that's been added. With sets like this, transistor sets, that is okay. Valve sets, really, you've got to be very, very careful why and how you do it. This is because valve sets use a lot more current, and they will, and particularly AC/DC sets, they tend to that socket can go live. So watch out for that. I think AC/DC valve sets generally don't have socket on the back. If they do, either disconnect it or change the capacitor with it, and you should be alright. But as you can see, there's not a lot to it. I'll just turn it round so you can see. Well, there you are. That's it. Nothing. Everything is under the chassis. So I'll take this back off and put it out of the way, and then we'll get inside and take a bit more of a look at this wee beastie and find out why it's not doing anything on long wave, which of course it should be doing, but this case it's not. As always, first thing you do, have a look. I notice it's got one of those modules in it which are known to give problems. It appears to be okay on this one, so I'm not going to touch it. These are the same modules, by the way, as you get on the Robert sets and one or two others. At the time, I suppose they were a reasonable way of getting the set working again if it came in for repair, but no, quite frankly, they're a bit of a pain. They can be repaired, by the way, as well. All that goes wrong with them, by the way, is the transistors, because this one, by the way, the book says in 1967. I think it's a bit earlier because the Luke is a bit older than that, so I will have a look and check that. But for now, let's try and get inside and see what is and what isn't with this. These might help, mightn't they? Glasses. Because I'm getting old, you see. I'm getting old. And them off. And won't now come out. No, it won't. Okay. Right. So some obviously more hiding this into place, but I think the thing we have to do here are the volume control and look into long wave. But most of it does appear to be working well, so I will continue with it in that respect. If it's working, leave it. That's my view. Bit of dust, by the way, that's okay. That's dust in a radio, by the way, is a good sign. Dust and dirt in a radio is a good sign because that means that nobody's been in it for a long time, if ever. So that's something which we must clear up here and now. Dust is a good sign, not a bad sign. One of the reasons why I think this is older is this wave change knob here, which was used on sets in the 50s. That's this. So that might possibly be a problem as well. So I took them off. There we are. And let's have a look and see what is where. Well, the first thing we do here, I think, that positively probably gives me enough leverage. Actually, what's that? Bit of tape. Okay, well, okay. So as little as possible with these. The capacitors and stuff do look late 60s. I'm surprised as to why a set like this will come so late, but it could have done, so we never know. Right, where's my magic spray? Where's my magic spray? Put that back on again. Give me a bit of leverage so I can take the wave change bit back and forth. Okay, let's see what effect that has had on it. It's surprising that stuff, you know. There's a lot.
I think we've done a good containing job here today.
Perhaps didn't have the psychological effect that a real
Well, how about that?
would have
Simple as
had.
that.
I imagine that she is pretty much a straight talker, like Liz Truss is a straight talker.
I think she'll. You know, I respect the fact she's got different views from me, and she respects the fact that I have different views.
Yeah,
And that's the great thing about living in a free society.
There's such a responsibility opening doors for female fighters now. You know, the gyms are full.
She's Queen.
I think it's fair to say that when I was in my youth, I was a professional, and ideas and stirring things up.
You said we believe in opportunity for all. We do not believe in people who are born to rule. We are not.
Stand up to us on the side. The Gerald stand.
Next thing is those. I think these knobs come off without a grub screw. With knobs, always be careful. Don't just yank them. They won't come. Again, give them a squirt of the magic spray and see what happens. Never yank a knob. Right, now with this, now after I've got the volume knob off quite easily. Now, got some of that down there, look it back and forth, and in time it will get down there and improve the set's volume control rather a lot. So that's one thing. While here, by the way, it's got these dreadful stickers on the dial. Again, when these are on a dial and the sticker on the top here, we know from that this set, which was made before 1967, I know that because it's got light home and third on it, so that's why. We know until it was in use in 1978. So in between 1978 and now, it was put out of use. I don't know when, but it does seem to be still working actually. The modules, by the way, are LP11956, and that is a Mullard module. Like I said, used in a lot of Roberts radios among others. It's okay, so I'm going to leave it. Let sleeping dogs lie and all that. Also, the on the back, the actual plug that somebody's fitted here, yeah, that is just a speaker connection. That's all. So I'll leave that. Okay. So now I will. I'll leave it for a bit and let that sink in there, and then we'll try it. But in the meantime, also I'm going to take off the this control here again, like that. Yeah. Put the thing on its end like that. give that a good spray. Put that back on, like that. Put the screw back in as well. Like that. Sometimes when you've only got one hand and it's not the hand you used before, you have a bit of a problem with things like this. I call it stammering because my hand literally sort of stammers. It's quite strange actually, and not something which I often talk about, but that's what we call it. So that is why sometimes, by the way, I do actually tend to stop the camera and let my hand stammer off camera. There you go. That goes back and forth a few times like that, and I'll get my tea and come back and we'll try it. Right, have my tea and come back, and let's see what it does now, shall we? Put it in.
The fairies of advertising.
There's radio 4.
Up in opposition
Radio
to
4. Let's turn that light off, there we are.
against Manchester City.
Had dropped. It was really unpleasant. So people say, oh, well, people are looking at hospitalisation pressure on the NHS. There's a lot of morbidity in the community as well. And I think that we forget that it's a nice...
There we are. So anyway, the problems it had were very simple and easy to fix, which is a nice change for a set of this era, but, also it's a set which has AF117s in, so it's still working. So, I'm a great believer. AF117s are funny. They're either all working or all not working, and there doesn't seem to be any halfway with it. My feelings about them are that the problem that we have is due to slight changes in manufacture back then. Some work, some don't. Some work, some don't. I've seen that before. But if you have ones that don't work, then you can fit AC127s, BF450s if you want, or you can go the Russian route with the is it GP300s, 320s, and such like. And I think 313s, isn't it? Put those in, but usually they're okay. Now, the other thing with this set, which I'm going to address, is mechanical. More likely, it's, shall we say, to do with appearance. Getting these stickers off is one of those jobs which is absolutely awful to do. Some of you want to leave them on, some don't. Again, it's purely your job, one way or the other. But we'll start with giving it a bit of a clean. So get the old sift anything stuff there, and get my rag. Don't lose your rag, by the way. And first of all, give it a general spray over like that. Okay, just generally, give it a good go. This does great. It gets rid of all the muck as well. And unlike polish, which polishes the muck in, this stuff really does bring it out. So it's really is worth. I use this stuff all the time, and it is absolutely wonderful. It also, by the way, in some cases will in fact hide a multitude of sins as well. So this is something else which we have it has in its favour. it just does basically. It just does it basically, and that's all you want. So here you are. It just brings stuff up. This stuff is amazing. It really is. Can't recommend it enough. There are other things out there, but this stuff really is excellent. It really is. There we are. Grandeur on the screen. You know, there's a bit of. There we go. Let's shift that. There we are. Right. There we are. It's looking a little bit better already. But as I said before, the biggest problem we get with these sets is the era. We're still working today. Is the dreaded stickers, which were put on for the 23rd of November 1978. When I'm done that day, the radio's changed. Radio 2, for example, as was then, used to be on long wave. It's marked on this one as light, but this was before radios 1, 2, 3 and 4 came in, and it moved to medium wave. It's near where 5 Live is. You know, 247 meters used to be radio 1. That moved to 275 and 5 meters, which are now Talk Sports, and radio 3 came down to 247 meters. And then my auntie Iris had a set in a car, a medium wave long wave set, and she wanted it okay to receive radio 3 on medium wave, so she got new area put on and everything. Then of course radio 3 left 247 meters, which is now Virgin or Atlantic. There's not a lot on medium wave now, but there's enough, you know. Nowadays, actually, I tend to think that the best place is long wave, because of course at least radio 4 is still active and will be for a long time yet. Anyway, the next thing after all that is taking off these lovely stickers, which is the sort of job which, you know, which you do, and it takes 2-3 minutes to say, but about an hour to do. What I do is I get a lolly stick or something like that, put the radio in this case on its back so we can see the dial, like that. And in most cases they will come off if you use some patience. That one's off. That was an old radio one, and this one here is now of course Virgin, but was of course radio 3, and radio 4 of course went to long wave in 23rd of December 1978. I was in the first year at school, by the way, secondary school, and I was about 11, and I remember it happened actually because it happened on a Thursday, if I remember rightly, and quite a few teachers didn't actually know what to do. Get in the car and put the radio on and got something completely wrong out of it, you know. And kids too, you know. At the time when kids you listen to round here, Piccadilly or Radio 1. Piccadilly was unaffected, but Radio 1 suddenly became Radio 3. So yeah. So that was it. That's the radio changes, and because of that, these stickers came to light. It won't come off easily. Then what you do is you get some of this stuff and get a lolly stick and you can actually pull them off that way. But the thing is here, more than anything else, is patience. Patience is the key, it really is. And that leaves better with that, doesn't it? Polish it up with a new rag. Unlike Andy, I don't use a pair of underpants for this job. I know you do, Andy. I'm telling the world that. And it sounds good too. On various stations.
Away, think away.
Thailand and Kazakhstan, which means that we...
But there you are, it's now working radio again. Wasn't a lot wrong with it. There's not a lot to go wrong with these. Yeah, okay, maybe I could change a few caps on the day, but in the moment it's working. And when things are working, unless there's something which does need to be changed, like on valve sets, but like capacitor, I really don't. How to check if it's a valve or a transistor set? Well, simple. Switch it on and see if it comes up straight away.
Well, inside.
But that, of course, doesn't include battery valve sets, of course, because they come up anyway. But apart from that, if you take up to how to warm up the valve set, if they don't, the transistor right. That's another. But you plain knew that. Anyway, so this is done. Like I said, I know that a lot of you will probably change caps on this. I didn't, because I don't think it needed it. It's good, sounds good, and well, I hope this guy puts his radio back into service, because of course, well, it can. So from me, it's Steve Pendlebury's Long Stay Vintage Radio Workshop. Remember, keep fixing radios, it's great fun, and be kind to yourself and everybody else over this festive season. Until we meet again, probably in the new year, I don't know yet. I'll see you then. Until then, bye bye and take care. Bye bye.